I'm Spencer.
Hi, I'm Mary Luz.
Hi, I'm Tyler, and we are from Rehydrate California, and we've come to the Monterey County Water Resources Agency to interview Miss Amy Woodrow, a hydrologist here, and she's going to tell us some information about the drought. So, let's go inside.
Go! Hello everyone, I'm here with Amy Woodrow, and we will ask some questions for our interview. So, hello Amy, how are you today?
Doing well, thanks. How are you?
I'm fine too. Okay, so our first question is, what's the cause of the California drought?
Well, in a big picture, any drought in California is due mostly to an absence of winter precipitation, and in this case, we've had a really big ridge of high pressure that's sitting off the California coast that has been preventing storms that normally would move in from the Pacific into California to bring winter precipitation, and the ridge is diverting them north, so it's not actually reaching California. So that very persistent ridge of high pressure is the sort of the main cause. There's also been some research that suggests that warming of the climate due to human activity may be enhancing some of the circumstances leading to warmer temperatures, that it snowballs a little bit with the high pressure ridge to exacerbate the effects of the drought.
It's very interesting. So our second question is, what are the effects of the drought on the Salinas Valley?
We've seen decreasing water levels. Our agency monitors wells throughout the county, and we've seen in some places historically low groundwater levels in wells. There's also the storage in our reservoirs is considerably lower than it has been in the past, which impacts both the amount of water that's available in the Salinas River, and it also has impacts to recreation for people who live around the lakes. And we've also, we have kind of on the flip side, not a negative thing, but we have seen increasing revenue from a lot of agricultural crops due to higher crop prices, which has actually been kind of a boon for some Salinas Valley growers.
Well, I guess it's up to people then to choose, is it good or is it bad? It's two sides. Yep.
Yeah.
So our third question is, how has the drought affected California in general?
Well, a lot of the same effects that we've seen in the Salinas Valley are being seen in other places. The decreasing water levels, impacts to reservoirs in parts of the state that rely a lot more on surface water and state water projects. They've been very much impacted because the flows in the rivers have been, they're really cut back, and in some places there haven't been water deliveries anymore through the state water project, so people who rely on that have had no water available to them. Mm-hmm. Here in Monterey County, we use a lot of groundwater. It's primarily groundwater because we're not connected to any of the state water projects. So in some ways, the impacts of the drought have been less immediate here, but we're still seeing the long-term effects.
Yeah, water's a big necessity.
It is.
So our fourth question is, how has our drought here affected the rest of the United States?
I think the biggest impact is probably due to increased crop and produce prices and beef prices, which it affects what food costs for everybody around the country. And there's also, I think there have been some impacts in the tourism front. When people come to California, they're getting, if they're planning to visit some of the lakes and reservoirs that have much lower water levels, their recreational activities might be curtailed, and they would also be encountering a lot of the conservation efforts that are in place in, hotels, wanting to, just have people be mindful about laundering their linens and their sheets, and, having water at restaurants, you have to request it now. So I think a lot of people who will be visiting California are probably experiencing those things, not necessarily negatives, but just an awareness.
Well, it still kind of affects the number of tourists that we have because, like, they're gonna think, oh, why would we want to come if what we're coming here for isn't gonna be as good as we imagined it would be.
That's true.
Yeah. So our fifth question is, in what ways has the drought here affected the rest of the world?
Probably, similarly, I would say the biggest thing, as it has in this country, would be the impact to food prices. I know at least for Monterey County, we export a significant amount of crops. I think the biggest one is lettuce, is a big export to other places in the world. So, increased prices that's going to trickle down everywhere.
That's true. So our last question is, how would you encourage students at Salinas High to help stop the drought?
I think the biggest thing is probably to either continue or to start, participating in conservation efforts. The state has been under mandated reductions in water use, and there are lots of things we can each do in our homes to try to reduce that, and just being mindful of, turning off the tap from when you're brushing your teeth or shaving, just thinking about, doing full loads of laundry instead of partial ones, and, all of the impacts of outdoor irrigation. So there are a lot of things around the house that people can do that probably won't have a huge impact on lifestyle, but they can all add up to significant reductions in water use.
Well, yeah, that's true. I mean, like, if there's a lot of little things, they can form a big thing. So if all of us tried to save water, we could really save a lot.
It's true. And we've seen that the state efforts ever since the mandated cutback went in, pretty much across the state, they've done a good job of staying pretty close to the reduction goal. So it does work.
Yes, it does. So try your best.